August 5th is getting closer, and if you've been watching grocery prices lately, you may have noticed something important. The cost of everyday essentials can change faster than most people expect. One week, a product is sitting on the shelf at a reasonable price. The next week, the price is higher. The package is smaller, or the product you normally buy is suddenly difficult to find. That's why timing can matter when you're building a household supply. You don't need to panic. You don't need to clear store shelves. And you definitely don't need to spend your entire budget in one shopping trip. But if there are certain items your family uses regularly, buying them before prices increase or availability changes can sometimes make sense. Today, we're looking at 12 items you may want to consider getting before August 5th, 2026. Some are everyday household essentials. Others are useful for food storage and emergency preparedness. And a few are items that can become surprisingly expensive when demand rises or supply becomes temporarily disrupted. The key is to focus on products you actually use. Check what you already have at home. Look for sales. Compare prices between brands. And only buy quantities you can store properly and realistically use. Remember, preparedness isn't about panic buying. It's about planning ahead. A few extra items purchased during normal shopping trips can give you more flexibility later. And if prices do rise, you'll be glad you already have some of the essentials sitting safely at home. Before we begin, subscribe to Prepper Pulse and turn on notifications. We upload new videos daily with practical grocery tips, food storage ideas, and preparedness strategies to help you stay informed and ready. Now let's count down 12 items you may want to get before August 5th, 2026. Starting with number 12. Number 12. Baking soda. Starting our countdown at number 12 is one of those inexpensive household staples that many people don't think about until they suddenly need it. Baking soda. It may seem like a small item, but it can have a surprisingly large number of uses. You can use it in baking, add it to certain recipes, and keep it available for a variety of everyday household tasks. For preppers, versatile products like baking soda are valuable because one item can serve multiple purposes. You don't need to store a huge amount. A few boxes may be enough to provide a useful backup supply for your household. It's also relatively easy to store. Keep unopened packages in a cool, dry location and follow the manufacturer's recommendations. Before August 5th, check your pantry and household storage area. If you're already running low, this could be a good time to replace your supply while prices are reasonable. It's also worth comparing different package sizes. Sometimes buying a larger package offers a better value, but only if your household can realistically use it before quality declines. The smartest approach is simple. Buy what you already use. Store it properly. And avoid filling your home with products that will eventually go to waste. Baking soda earns the number 12 spot because it's inexpensive, versatile, and useful in both the kitchen and around the home. And the next item on our list is something that can become surprisingly important when normal household supplies start running low. Number 11. Trash bags. At number 11 is an everyday household item that most people don't think about stocking up on until they're almost completely out. Trash bags. They are simple. They're inexpensive. And they're used constantly. But when you run out, finding a suitable replacement can become surprisingly inconvenient. Trash bags come in different sizes and strengths, so choosing the right type for your household matters. Kitchen bags, heavy-duty bags, small bathroom bags, and larger outdoor bags all serve different purposes. For preparedness, keeping a backup supply can be useful because trash doesn't stop accumulating during an emergency. In fact, during a power outage, storm, or other disruption, you may need extra bags for cleanup and waste management. They can also be useful for storing dirty clothing, organizing supplies, or temporarily protecting items from moisture. That doesn't mean you need to buy hundreds. A practical approach is to keep one unopened package as a backup after your current supply. Before August 5th, check how many bags you have at home. If you're down to your last roll or box, replacing it now may be smarter than waiting until you completely run out. Compare the price per bag rather than simply looking at the package price. Sometimes a larger package provides better value, but only if you have enough storage space. Trash bags earn the number 11 spot because they're inexpensive, frequently used, and surprisingly useful during both everyday life and unexpected disruptions. And the next item is something that can become essential when the power goes out. Number 10. Batteries. At number 10 is something you may not think about until the moment you desperately need it. Batteries. A power outage can happen at any time. And when it does, batteries can become essential for flashlights, radios, clocks, emergency lanterns, and other devices. The problem is that batteries are easy to overlook during normal shopping. You may have a flashlight sitting in a drawer, but if the batteries inside are dead, the flashlight isn't much help. That's why it's smart to check your battery supply before you actually need it. Look at the devices your household relies on most. Check your flashlights, emergency lanterns, portable radios, and other battery-powered equipment. Make sure you know which sizes you need. AA, AAA, C, D, or other types. There's no need to buy every battery size available. Focus on the devices you actually own. Before August 5th, 2026, consider picking up a reasonable backup supply of the sizes your household uses most frequently. Store batteries in a cool, dry location and follow the manufacturer's storage recommendations. It's also a good idea to keep them organized so you can find them quickly during an emergency. For longer-term preparedness, rechargeable batteries can also be useful when paired with a reliable way to recharge them. But disposable batteries still have an important advantage. They can be stored and used immediately without needing to recharge them first. Batteries earn the number 10 spot because they're relatively easy to overlook, yet they can become extremely valuable when the electricity goes out. And the next item on our list is something that can help you maintain basic hygiene when access to normal household services becomes difficult. Number 9. Bar soap. At number 9 is a simple household essential that many people don't think about stocking until they're down to their last bar. Bar soap. It's inexpensive, compact, easy to store, and useful for everyday hygiene. During a normal week, running out of soap is mostly an inconvenience. But during a prolonged disruption, keeping basic hygiene supplies available becomes much more important. Bar soap can be used for regular hand washing and bathing, making it a practical item to keep in your household supply. Compared with some liquid products, bar soap also has an advantage when it comes to storage. It doesn't require a large bottle. It won't take up valuable refrigerator space. And unopened bars can be stored for a long time when kept in a cool, dry location. Before August 5th, take a quick look at your bathroom and household storage areas. If you only have one bar left, it may be worth picking up a few more during your next shopping trip. You don't need to buy an enormous quantity. A small backup supply is usually enough to provide peace of mind. You can also choose different types depending on your household's needs. Some people prefer unscented products. Others may want moisturizing or specialty soaps. The best choice is the one your family already uses comfortably. It's also smart to keep a few bars stored separately from the ones currently in use. That way, you always have a backup supply if stores become inconvenient to reach or a particular product temporarily disappears. Bar soap earns the number 9 spot because it's inexpensive, easy to store, and essential for maintaining basic hygiene during both normal life and unexpected disruptions. And the next item is something that can become extremely valuable when you need to clean up a mess but don't have access to your usual household supplies. Number 8. Paper towels. At number 8 is an everyday household item that can disappear surprisingly quickly when you actually need it. Paper towels. Cleaning spills. Wiping kitchen surfaces. Drying hands. Cleaning up after meals. And handling unexpected messes all become much easier when you have a good supply available. During normal shopping, many people only buy paper towels when they're almost out. But that's exactly when you may end up paying more or settling for a different product. If your household uses paper towels regularly, checking your supply before August 5th could be worthwhile. You don't need to buy an enormous quantity. Just keeping an extra package or two can give you a useful backup. Paper towels can also become particularly valuable during emergencies. A leaking pipe, a broken container, a power outage, or a storm cleanup can create situations where you suddenly need far more cleaning materials than usual. Because paper towels are bulky, storage space is the main consideration. If you have room, buying larger packages during a good sale may provide better value. But always compare the price per sheet rather than relying only on the package price. You can also reduce your dependence on paper towels by keeping reusable cloths available for everyday cleaning. That way, you can reserve your paper towel supply for situations where disposable materials are more convenient or hygienic. Store unopened packages in a clean, dry area away from moisture. Paper towels earn the number 8 spot because they're frequently used, easy to overlook, and useful for both everyday cleaning and unexpected situations. And now we're moving into the top 7. The next item is something that can become incredibly important when you need to keep food and household supplies protected. Number 7. Food storage containers. We're now in the top 7. At number 7 is something that many households don't think about until they suddenly need a way to organize and protect their supplies. Food storage containers. A well-stocked pantry is useful, but keeping everything properly organized can make a huge difference. Airtight containers can help protect certain dry goods from moisture and pantry pests when used appropriately. They can also make it easier to see exactly what you have and avoid buying products you don't need. For preppers, organization is just as important as quantity. You don't want to discover that an important ingredient has gone stale because it was left in an opened package. You also don't want to lose track of older supplies while newer products sit unused. Before August 5th, take a look at the containers you already have. Are the lids still sealing properly? Do you have enough containers for the foods your household regularly stores? Are some cracked or damaged? If you're running low, this may be a good time to replace them. You don't necessarily need expensive specialty containers. Simple airtight options that are appropriate for the food you're storing can often do the job. Different sizes can also be useful. Small containers are helpful for opened ingredients and snacks. Larger containers can be useful for certain bulk dry goods. The key is choosing containers that fit your actual storage needs. Remember to label stored foods with the purchase or opening date when useful. This makes rotation much easier. Food storage containers earn the number 7 spot because they can help protect your supplies, improve organization, and reduce unnecessary waste. And now we're moving into the top 6. The next item is something that can become surprisingly valuable when you need to prepare meals but don't have access to your normal kitchen equipment. Number 6. Manual can opener. We're now in the top 6. At number 6 is one of those small household tools that can become extremely important when the power goes out. A manual can opener. If your pantry contains canned foods, this is something you absolutely don't want to overlook. During normal life, opening a can is easy. You grab the electric opener or use whatever kitchen appliance you normally rely on. But during a power outage, those options may not be available. That's why having a simple manual can opener stored in an accessible place can be incredibly useful. It's inexpensive, compact, and doesn't require electricity or batteries. Before August 5th, check your kitchen drawer and make sure you actually have a working manual can opener. Don't assume the one you've had for years still works properly. Test it. If it's rusty, damaged, or difficult to operate, replace it. You may also want to keep a second one with your emergency supplies. That way, if your primary opener breaks or gets misplaced, you still have a backup. This is especially important if you keep canned vegetables, canned meat, soups, or other shelf-stable foods in your pantry. A large supply of canned food isn't very useful if you can't open the containers. The best preparedness supplies are often the simplest ones. You don't need expensive equipment for every emergency. Sometimes a basic hand-operated tool can be more valuable than a complicated device. A manual can opener earns the number 6 spot because it's affordable, takes up almost no space, requires no electricity, and can become essential when normal kitchen equipment isn't available. And now we're entering the top 5. The next item is something that can help you keep your home running when the electricity suddenly disappears. Number 5. Flashlights. We're now in the top 5. At number 5 is one of the most basic emergency items you can own. A reliable flashlight. When the electricity goes out, darkness can quickly become more than an inconvenience. You may need to move around your home. Find supplies. Check on family members. or safely navigate stairs and hallways. That's why every household should have at least one dependable flashlight available. But ideally, you should have more than one. Keep one in an easy-to-reach location, another in the bedroom, and, if possible, an additional one with your emergency supplies. Before August 5th, check the flashlights you already own. Do they still work? Are the batteries fresh? Are the switches functioning properly? There's no point keeping an emergency flashlight in a drawer if you discover during a power outage that it doesn't turn on. You can also consider different types. Small handheld flashlights are easy to carry. Headlamps can leave both hands free. And larger lantern-style lights can illuminate a wider area. The best option depends on your household's needs. It's also smart to keep spare batteries stored separately and check them periodically. If you use rechargeable flashlights, make sure you have a reliable way to recharge them when electricity isn't available. A flashlight may seem like a basic purchase, but during an unexpected blackout, it can become one of the most useful items in your entire home. That's why it earns the number 5 spot. And now we're down to the final 4. The next item is something that can help you stay connected and informed when normal communication systems become unreliable. Number 4. Battery-powered radio. We're down to the final 4. At number 4 is an item that many people forget about until they suddenly need information during a power outage or emergency. A battery-powered radio. When the electricity goes out, your phone may eventually run out of battery. Your internet connection may stop working, and television may no longer be available. A battery-powered radio can provide another way to receive important updates. Weather alerts, emergency announcements, local instructions, and other information can become extremely valuable when normal communication systems are disrupted. The important thing is to choose a radio that is simple to operate and uses batteries that you already keep at home. Some models may also offer additional features, such as a built-in flashlight or the ability to charge small devices. However, the most important feature is reliability. Before August 5th, check whether your household already has a working radio. Test it. Make sure the controls function properly. And keep a fresh supply of compatible batteries nearby. If you have a battery-powered radio that has been sitting unused for years, don't wait for an emergency to discover that it no longer works. It's also a good idea to store the radio somewhere accessible. During an emergency, you don't want to search through boxes and closets trying to find it. A simple, clearly labeled location can make a big difference. Remember, preparedness isn't just about storing food. Information can be just as important. Knowing what's happening around you can help you make better decisions about travel, weather, power outages, and other disruptions. A battery-powered radio earns the number 4 spot because it's compact, relatively inexpensive, and can provide access to important information when other communication options aren't available. And now we're down to the final 3. The next item is something that can become essential when you need to keep your home supplied with safe drinking water. Number 3. Water storage containers. We're down to the final 3. At number 3 is something that may not seem exciting, but during an emergency, it can become one of the most important supplies in your entire home. Water storage containers. Most people think about storing food first, but without a reliable supply of safe drinking water, even the best-stocked pantry has serious limitations. That's why having appropriate containers available can be just as important as having water itself. You can use suitable food-grade containers to store water for emergencies, following local guidance and manufacturer recommendations. The important thing is choosing containers designed for water storage. Don't simply fill random household containers and assume they'll be suitable for long-term use. Before August 5th, check whether you already have appropriate water storage containers at home. If you don't, consider getting a few suitable containers that fit your household's needs and available storage space. You don't have to buy everything at once. Start with what you can reasonably manage. Then gradually improve your emergency water supply over time. Remember that stored water also needs to be managed properly. Containers should be kept in a cool location away from direct sunlight and potential contamination. Follow recommended replacement and sanitation guidance for your specific storage containers and local conditions. You should also think about how you would access and use your stored water. A large container may hold more water, but smaller containers can sometimes be easier to move and distribute. The best solution depends on your household. Water storage containers earn the number 3 spot because having the ability to safely store water can provide critical flexibility during power outages, natural disasters, or temporary disruptions to normal water service. And now we're down to the final 2. The next item is something that can help you keep essential supplies organized and protected when you need to move them quickly. Number 2. Duct tape. We're down to the final 2. At number 2 is one of the most versatile household items you can keep in your emergency supplies. Duct tape. It may look like an ordinary roll of tape, but during an unexpected situation, it can become surprisingly useful. You can use it for temporary repairs, securing loose items, patching certain materials, bundling supplies, or making quick fixes when you don't have access to your normal tools. That's why many prepared households keep at least one roll stored away. Duct tape also takes up very little space. You can keep a roll in your emergency kit, another in a household toolbox, or simply store an extra roll in a dry location for future use. Before August 5th, check the duct tape you already have. If you only have a nearly empty roll, or the adhesive has deteriorated, replacing it may be worthwhile. Different types and strengths are available, so choose a product that matches the repairs you are most likely to need. You don't need to buy a huge quantity. 1 or 2 reliable rolls can provide a useful backup for many everyday situations. It's also a good idea to keep your emergency supplies organized. During a stressful situation, you don't want to search through multiple boxes just to find a simple repair item. Duct tape earns the number 2 spot because it's compact, inexpensive, versatile, and useful for temporary repairs when normal household resources aren't immediately available. But now we've reached number 1. The final item on our list is something that can help you prepare for a situation that affects almost everything else in your home. And it's one of the easiest things to overlook until it's too late. Number 1. First aid supplies. We've reached number 1. The final item on our list is something every prepared household should consider having available. Basic first aid supplies. A small injury can happen at any time. A cut while cooking, a scrape during cleanup, a minor burn, or a simple accident around the house. In everyday life, you can usually make a quick trip to the store for whatever you need. But during a storm, power outage, transportation disruption, or other emergency, getting basic medical supplies may not be as convenient. That's why having a properly stocked first aid kit can provide valuable peace of mind. Your supplies might include items such as adhesive bandages, sterile gauze, medical tape, antiseptic wipes, disposable gloves, and other basic first aid products appropriate for your household. It's also important to check your kit regularly. Some supplies can expire. Others may become damaged or unusable over time. Before August 5th, take a few minutes to open your first aid kit and check what's actually inside. You may be surprised to discover that some of the most commonly used items are missing. Replace anything that has expired, been opened unnecessarily, or become damaged. You should also consider the specific needs of your household. A family with young children may need different supplies than a household with older adults. The goal isn't to create a professional medical kit. It's simply to make sure you have basic supplies available for minor injuries while knowing when professional medical care is necessary. Keep your first aid supplies in a location that's easy to access but safely stored away from young children. It's also helpful to make sure everyone in the household knows where the kit is located. First aid supplies earn the number 1 spot because they aren't just about preparedness for a major disaster. They're useful for everyday accidents too. So there you have it. 12 items you may want to consider getting before August 5th, 2026. From batteries and flashlights to water storage containers and first aid supplies, these are the kinds of items that are easy to overlook during normal shopping. But when you suddenly need them, you'll be glad you already have them. Remember, you don't need to buy everything in one trip. Start with the items you're actually missing. Check your home first. Compare prices. Buy reasonable quantities. And store everything properly. Preparedness isn't about fear. It's about reducing the stress that comes from being caught completely unprepared. A few simple purchases today can give you more options tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Prepper Pulse and turn on notifications. We upload new videos daily with practical grocery tips, food storage ideas, and preparedness strategies to help you stay informed and ready. Stay prepared, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video.